Hey everyone, I'm Kim, the mom boss behind EmeryandK. Welcome back to my channel. Today's Tumbler tutorial is this super cute Clover design with some vinyl and glitter. I'm so excited to show you. I will list and link everything I use in the description box below, along with some discount codes. Let's get to it. As always, we're going to start with our fully prepped and painted tumbler. Today I'm using a 20-ounce skinny from Hog. We are going to be using a template from Ellies Crafty Co, which I will link down below. This is her Shamrock and Rainbows template. Now we're going to size that according to our tumbler. I always forget to look, so I'll put that in the description box as well. We're going to cut it out on our tacky tape from the glitter guy, our printed vinyl from the glitter guy as well. That's the Luck and Charms in Opaque. And then we're also going to cut it out on this olive mirror chrome vinyl from TeckWrap. So you're not going to resize it, change your template at all, cut literally the same exact template 3 times on your 3 different materials. All right, so now that we have all of that situated, we're going to go ahead and wrap our tumbler in our tacky tape template. I am going to kind of zip through this portion of the tutorial because you guys have seen me do this a bunch of times. I've done it kind of in a slower mo in multiple videos, so I'm just going to line it up, hold it in place with a sewing clip. I prefer to use a little vinyl squeegee and just press it on my tumbler, check for any bubbles, carefully pop those, and then you're good to go on to the next step. Okay, so this part can definitely seem a little bit intimidating, but I promise you it's not. You just need a good show in the background and a little bit of patience, very similar to the basket weave tumbler that we did a couple of weeks ago. So the first thing I'm going to do is check to make sure my vinyl that has this exact template cut out on it is in the same direction as my tumbler so that it's easier to find the pieces that I need. So as far as which clovers I'm going to put my printed vinyl on, that's totally up to me, and for you on your tumbler, it's totally up to you. There are no rules, there's no right or wrong. The only thing you want to make sure is that you are getting the same clover off your printed vinyl to coordinate correctly with your tumbler, if that makes sense. So you can see I went ahead and removed the clover from my tacky tape on my tumbler. I prefer to remove the piece so that if I need to carefully pull my vinyl up and reposition it at all, it doesn't rip that paper backing on the tacky tape, because in that case, obviously the adhesive on your vinyl is compromised and your piece is no good. So just go ahead and remove that backing to expose the adhesive, and we're going to lay our printed vinyl directly onto that adhesive. And wham bam, it is that simple. I promise you guys, if I can do this, so can you. You just, like I said, need a little bit of patience and put on like some Gilmore Girls or Friends in the background and you can totally do it. So as far as, like I said, where I'm choosing to take these off, I'm just trying to looking for what is pleasing to my eyes aesthetically. Also keeping in mind that I'm going to have some of the mirror chrome vinyl on some of the clovers, and I'm going to do just a few in glitter as well. So I don't want to overcrowd one section. I just kind of want to evenly space them out. But don't start thinking about it too much. You know, this isn't something that you should be putting too much thought into. Let your brain just kind of go, and where your eyes want to see more printed vinyl, go ahead and put your printed vinyl there. So I'm going to continue this above the rainbow, then I will do it below the rainbow, and I will see you on the other side. First part down, now we're on to the second part. So once you're happy with the layout of your printed vinyl, we're going to go in and repeat the process using this mirror chrome vinyl from TeckWrap in the color Olive. This stuff, I've got to say, it's the first time I've laid anything other than printed vinyl over tacky tape, and I was a little bit worried because this is a little bit thicker than that printed vinyl, but it laid beautifully. I was incredibly impressed with how nice this was, and I didn't have any issues with like weird wrinkles or bubbles or anything like that. So 10 out of 10 recommend this vinyl. It was really good to work with. So the process is going to be exactly the same. I'm going to be just doing clovers in places that I think it's aesthetically pleasing. I'm going to keep in mind I want to do just a couple of glitter clovers above the rainbow and below the rainbow, so just kind of keeping that in the back of my mind as I am choosing which ones to lay vinyl on. So I'm going to finish this and then I will see you guys on the other side. The vinyl is officially finished. Let's move on to some sparkle. So these are all from the glitter guy. I'm going to be using Phenomenal Cosmic Power, Monster Blue, Pot O' Luck, which fits the theme perfectly, Frosted Lavender, Rosecco, which is my favorite fine glitter of all time. Don't come for me. I am not using orange on my rainbow. I'm using Rosecco because it matches the vinyl perfectly. and I couldn't find an orange that I liked. And then Bruno, Magic School Bus, and Rainbow Ice. All right, let's get to sparkling. So the first thing I want to do is put in my grip from the Tumbler Grip. I adore these things. I use them when I glitter and when I epoxy. They always keep my tumblers nice and straight, and they never end up on the floor. And if you ever had that happen to you, you walk down to check on your tumblers after your epoxy has cured. They've been spinning for like a good 5 hours, and you find one of your beauties on the floor cured to the cement. It's not a good time. So never an issue with these Tumbler grips. So we're going to go through this part pretty quickly because it's pretty straightforward. As with all templates that we glitter using tacky tape, we're going to start from the darkest and then we're going to work our way through to the lightest colors. And I showed you guys my colors in that order, so I had them all set up because I otherwise very often will mess up my glitter order. So for the Clovers that I wanted to leave a couple and do glitter instead of the printed or the mirror vinyl, I'm doing those in Pot of Luck. That will go with the green in the rainbow. And then you will see the other colors I use in the rainbow. So Phenomenal Cosmic Power, that Monster Blue, Frosted Lavender, the Rosecco in place of the orange. Because like I said, don't come for me. I could not find an orange that I liked with this set. And the Rosecco just matched the vinyl perfectly. There's no orange in this vinyl either. So my craft room, my rules, you do whatever you want. And then for the yellow in the rainbow is Magic School Bus. Then as far as the outlines around all of the Clovers, the glitter and the vinyl ones, I'm using Bruno, which is this really beautiful iridescent green. And then for the background and the little pinstripes in the rainbow, I'm using that Rainbow Ice. So once I finish glittering all of this, I am going to give it just a light spray of my Rust-Oleum 2x clear gloss sealer. I don't want to go too heavy just because I don't know what it will do to this vinyl if I do. So just a nice light coat, and then go ahead and do a coat of epoxy over it, and once it's cured, I will see you for decals. After that coat of epoxy is cured, we're ready to move on to decals. If your tumbler is still kind of bumpy and lumpy, you can go ahead in with the second coat. There's no harm in that at all. Alright, so in full transparency, I had a problem deciding if I wanted to put a decal on this tumbler or not, because standalone, it was perfect without a decal. I told myself if I could find one that I thought kind of fit the vibe of the tumbler, I would use it, and I did. I found this one at Cricut Design Space. I really like how it's just kind of soft. It's a subtle little touch, and it ended up looking perfect on this tumbler. So I did create a 0.03 offset for this decal that I cut out of just regular white vinyl, and then for the top text I cut it out of that olive mirror chrome vinyl that matches my Clovers, or some of my vinyl Clovers. So I'm just going to place it right over the seam on this tumbler. And when I do a decal that's going vertically down my tumbler, I don't measure it. I just kind of put it on there and hold it at arm's length away from my face to see if it's nice and straight, and then I make my adjustments as needed. So now that it's on there, we're going to go ahead and layer the vinyl. I'm trying to get it so that you can see me actually layering my vinyl and not getting my melon in the screen. So if you've seen my other tutorials, you know that I prefer to layer my vinyl one word at a time so that I always get that perfect layer and I don't have anything like wonky or crooked or anything like that, because truth be told, I am not that great at layering vinyl the traditional way. So I'm going to do this because it works for me, and I highly encourage you to try it if you struggle with layering vinyl. Once I finish getting my decal all layered, I will go back in with 2 coats of epoxy. I did add just a little sprinkle of flash white mica powder from the glitter guy in my final coat of epoxy to give my cup a little bit of extra sparkle, which is totally up to you, but after those 2 coats, this tumbler will be finished. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, maybe a little bit inspirational. If you did, I would love a thumbs up on my video. If you want to see more tutorials in the future, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, happy crafting.